Well, hello, lovely people. I've just tidied my desk and I needed to do it so badly because basically I couldn't see any of the surface. So you'll see it's still not mega tidy, but oh, look at that. A whole bit of my desk with nothing on it. Um, and in my tidying, I generated this massive pile of stuff. And I don't want to get rid of this stuff. I'm such a hoarder, and it's full of lovely sort of bits and pieces that mean things to me or are pretty, and I just don't kind of want to chuck it all. And that is why I have a Smashbook. So I've done a video on Smashbooking before. I can leave the link below, and it's basically just a book where you shove all your bits and pieces that you don't know what else to do with. So I did a process video on this page here, and I've done a couple of other pages since, just getting rid of bits and pieces. And so I'm going to put as much of this as I can into a layout today. And the lovely thing about Smashbooking is you just don't have to take it too seriously. You just stick things in kind of randomly. So this I didn't want to throw away. It was a film we went to see at the weekend. My son was an extra in. So just going to shove this in, and then I'll probably stick lots of things over the top of it. And what I'm doing here is I'm just collecting up the sort of background type pieces first, and then I'm going to whack a whole lot of other stuff over the top. So I think that might go there. Now this is just a piece of scrapbook paper that I like that was left over from cutting something out, and it's an interesting shape and I like the pattern of this, so I think that's just going to go down kind of there, maybe perhaps there. And there was another picture in the bottom corner there that I stuck somewhere else. Now this is a washi tape packet, and I got these washi tapes for a future workshop, and I thought I would try one out myself, and I really like the packet. It's got little sort of silvery bits on, as has the tape, and so I think I'm just going to punch some of these, just punch some shapes out of it. Get that little silver bit in. I'll put those on. So basically what I'm just doing here is I'm kind of working through all my bits and pieces, and then the bits that are left I can finally throw away because I know that I've got as much out of them all as I can. So I'm just going to make that the other one pinged across the room. That's it there. So I've got these ready to go in somewhere. And I might make a couple more out of the top part, but I can get rid of that now. I use aqua brushes for all my painting, as you know, because they're just so portable. And when you clean your brushes, you do get these gorgeous effects on whatever tissue paper you're using. So I think I'm just going to put a bit of this down. And you can also use napkins in your journals and Smashbooks and mixed media and art journaling and all the rest of it. And the key is to separate it down to one layer. So I'm going to use that layer there. And also to always put your glue onto the page, not onto the napkin, because if I were to try and put glue on there, it would fall apart because it's so thin. So I think I'm just going to kind of stick it somewhere. That might do there. So I'll just put a load of glue over here, and then I'll stick that on the top. And it's not a very precise art, but it will just stick that down. And then if there are pieces that aren't sticking properly later, I can come back and put a wee bit of glue on them. But just for now, I'm just going to pop that on there. And I do like the effect of the paint, and then also what's beneath it will show through because it's just a piece of, well, I think it was a tissue, not a bit of glue roll. It looks more tissue sized. So I'm just going to put that down there. But if it flaps a bit, it doesn't really matter, just adds to the 3D effect. And you can still see some of that paper showing through. Take that edge off there. So I really like using tissues. Now I've got this lovely kingfisher. I really like this. I think he's going to go right across the top. I think I'll put him up there and then I can stick some more things over there. So I'll just take that off there. Over there. And I might come in at the end and pop some washi tape across the top. And of course I can trim that now very easily up against the edge of the page. So that's that. Now I've got some bigger bits of patterned paper here, a bit of wood grain. I might use some of these, I might not use all of them right now. Oh, no, I do want to put this in. Now, what else have we got here? Oh, I like that puffin. Now, this was from a tourist leaflet that I picked up on holiday. And I do love tourist leaflets because you get these really nice pictures and just lovely things, and they're all free. So when I'm on holiday, usually the first thing I'll do is go to the tourist information office, and I'm generally looking for leaflets that have journaling potential rather than places that I want to go, which I know is not really the idea at all, but it keeps me happy. So I think that little puffin's going to go over here somewhere. And I want some stuff to put underneath him. I've got this scrap of paper here. Right, let's just tear that. And you see, I'm not bothering to cut things here, partly because I quite like the raw edges from tearing. And I think that's going to look great just there. So you can see I've cut out some flower shapes there for another project. But it's going to suit my purposes very nicely. Just to curve round and hold the edge of that tissue in place. So I'll just put this down. And I don't know about you, but I just do find it really difficult to keep everything tidy. And as I say, I am such a hoarder that I can't bear to get rid of things. And this process just really helps me kind of stop the avalanche, but also means I can keep things that I like. Oh, I've got a dive bombing kingfisher there. I think he might go on there, just to cover over that rather boring customs form. But I am distracting myself from what I'm trying to do on the right hand side, so let's just go back to that. Oh, look at that. I'm going to put that piece of tissue on where I've been cleaning my brush. So that's just watercolour there from a bit of a painting session. So I'll just put the blue over there and pop that down. And I like the way I've got the purple there echoing the purple over here now. Look, I didn't separate that out properly, so I've got two layers and one of them's peeling off, but that's fine. Sometimes I find it quite hard to tell whether I've got two layers or one, and that clearly was two. So time for the puffin now. And what will happen probably when I finish this is I'll have some smaller pieces left, and then I'll probably go into my everyday creative journal and just Smashbook the smaller pieces on, because my pages there are a lot smaller than this. And one of the reasons why I have the Smashbook as separate from my journal is just because when you're doing this, it is so much easier to have bigger pages, because a lot of the ephemera that I kind of collect is larger than would fit in my, well, currently I'm in an A5 journal, although I do tend to flip between Traveller's Notebook standard size and A5. I just think if you're in the UK, it's so hard to get those standard size TN inserts. I do make them myself most of the time, but every now and again I just feel like an A5. So I'm in an A5 at the moment. And if you come to my workshops, you'll know that I have started giving out A5s at workshops rather than the standard TN size, just because they are so much easier to get, and constantly importing the TNs does really rack up the cost, and it's nice to have some left over for the other things in the kits rather than spending it all on a journal. Right, now this was some some flamingo slices that we had just for a treat, and I really liked the wrapping, the packaging, so I just kept it, and I think that flamingo is going to go in there below the puffin, and I like that it's pointing the other way, although I am then covering the war horses. Maybe it'll go down there. Yeah, that's better. So because this is just a bit of tissue that normally you would throw away, it doesn't matter if I cover most of it up. It's just a nice background, and that's part of the joy of it, really. It just does not matter. So let's just put that there. That's great. And then I think we're going to have these on the nice contrasting with that background, just on that curve. Getting glue all over myself. I am actually physically incapable of not getting glue everywhere. I used to get really cross with myself about it and think, you know, why can you not be a bit tidier? And basically I just can't. I have tried, but I do just always end up with glue everywhere, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. And I've kind of become reconciled to that. Oh, I like that. I'm just going to put that there. In fact, the film, The Outlaw King, that we went to see was not good times at all. It was really violent, horrible times. But I think I'm putting that there as a reminder to myself that we have good times these days. I'm very lucky in this country because it's not a war zone. There are many people in the world who are living in war zones, like we saw in that film. Now I've got some little stickers here, and I don't think I want to use the ones, these are good for journaling because I'll write things in these, but I might put that somewhere, maybe just down here. And the little foxy, you know, I really like, is a stamp, so I think he'll go nicely with those other stamps. I'm going to trim this so I can see where the edge of the page is, because I'm going to need to put something up there. I think. There we go. Yeah, I might come back at the end and put some tape up there. Now, here we've got some arrows. This is just the end of a sticker sheet, and you can see those arrows are together, but I'm actually going to snip them apart because I want to use them separately. And I think I'll put, so there were a lot of arrows in the film because it was that time of history where that was their main kind of weapon. So I quite like the idea of having the good times being pointed to by arrows. And that uses those up. And then I've just got one bicycle sticker. I've been on my bike going to work this week, so I'll just pop that down there. That's very appropriate. That's great. Oh gosh, it was so cold going to work this week on my bike. It's really got nippy in Edinburgh this week, and I had gloves on, but they were fingerless gloves, and I could just feel my hands freezing off as I was going down the hill. Now this is from a friend of mine, Nigeza, over at Nigeza Creates, and she does this. Oh, she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and she does gorgeous stuff, gorgeous videos, and has lovely products. And she sent me this chocolate bar, and look at the wrapping, it was absolutely exquisite, so couldn't bear to throw that away. So thanks, Jez. And I'll put this in here, and I'll link to her channel below. She does really lovely stuff. I'm not very good at stamping myself, but she's an absolute genius at it. So if you want to learn more about that, go over to her. And she, as I say, sells really lovely things on her shop. So I might just pop that there, just under the nice kingfisher who's got his lovely sunny breast there. And so bit by bit, I'm kind of getting through the pile of pieces. And I'm going to put those to one side because I don't think I'm going to use the rest of those in here. I'll use them somewhere else. Those stickers are good for journaling, actually. there's really no right way of doing it, and that's partly what I like about it. You can just do it however the mood takes you, and you can put all sorts of stuff into it, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just sort of soaks up the stuff for you, and I find that really useful. I think that's going to go there. So I'll just tear a little wedge, and I'm tearing this way so that you get the white edges on the piece, which I like, and that's just going to go over the top of Fingal's Cave on Staffa. We went on this amazing boat trip, and I think I did a video on the journal from it actually, and it was just so amazing. It was gorgeous, and there were just absolutely piles of puffins flying around overhead, so it's nice to have that on that page with the puffin opposite. And this is a tissue, or was it a napkin? You know, you can get those little packs of lovely tissues and really pretty napkins, and so I'm just using bits of this because I really like it. I've used it in other journals, and I've just got this wee piece left, and I thought, well, I'll just use it up here. Oops. Now rip that flower completely in half. So I think we can stick it back together. So I think that's going to go over there on top of that purple, just by the feet of the puffin. So what I quite like doing is kind of covering up the raw edges. So that's just going to go and ease the join there. And yeah, look, it's such forgiving stuff. I think I've got that little hyacinth back together okay, even though I ripped it when I tore it from my hands. So we're nearly there with this now. Just got a few more little gaps. Oh look, here are some coffee stickers that I made just for a laugh. And I think we're going to take time to smell the coffee. I think that's just going to go there. And then I need some kind of shape to go in there. So maybe I should make some more of these little tulips actually. So here's some more of the cover of the washi tape. And I'm just going to get the silvery bits in, because I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but the silver in this tape is absolutely stunning, and the box has that as well. So we'll just do a couple of those. And I think I got this punch from, might even have been B&M Home Store. Anyway, it was not expensive, and I like the little flower. Oh yes, that's going to be perfect. So that's going to go there. So I'm using the twos here, and I'm doing them, so I've got two of the same thing, and I'm doing them on a slight, you know, one pointing that way, one pointing that way, and they're not on the same level either. I'm going to put this one higher than the other one, and I think that just looks really nice. There we go. Oh look, this came from a kit and was the one that was left over, and it's a sticker just on the pack of, from the front of a pack of cardstock ephemera. So I'm going to put that there from Creative Journaling UK, because I just like that, because this is kind of ephemera. Now I could add a lot more there, and I might come back and do that in due course, but for now I think we're really nearly there. I'm just going to pop this on because I like this sticker. It says, I love days when my only problem is tea or coffee. Okay. And that softens the edge up of that little pink bit. Now ideally I would have another pink bit down here, because again it kind of draws your eye down the diagonal, and I might yet do that. Yeah, look, I can just tuck a little bit under there. So I'm just going to take a little piece like that and pop that under there. Oh yeah, that's good. And just take that hard edge off it. And there's nothing wrong with hard edges, but I just like to eliminate them as much as possible, because it kind of softens the look of everything, and I like that effect. There we go. And that can go back down on top. So I think I'm nearly there with that. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Sorry, this video's probably got horribly long. But if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching this long. And I hope that you can enjoy some Smashbooking too. So thanks ever so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.